The art of effective learning is truly transformative, far beyond simple knowledge acquisition. I want to emphasize that learning is an actual skill you can develop and refine, just as you would any artistic discipline. This requires deliberate practice, sustained patience, and critically, the right mindset. When we approach education with a growth mindset, we experience a profound shift from merely collecting information to experiencing genuine personal development. This perspective doesn't just improve our learning, it fundamentally changes how we see possibilities and develop deeper understanding. Remember that embracing lifelong learning serves dual purposes. It brings personal fulfillment while simultaneously advancing our professional capabilities, creating a foundation for continuous growth in our rapidly changing world. Understanding your learning style. Let's examine how learning styles impact your educational journey. Visual learners process information most effectively through images, diagrams, and spatial relationships. If you're in this category, you'll benefit tremendously from color-coding your notes, creating mind maps, and visualizing concepts. Auditory learners, on the other hand, thrive when processing information through listening. Recorded lectures, discussions, and verbal explanations will be your strongest tools for mastering complex topics. Kinesthetic learners need physical engagement and hands-on experiences. You'll excel through experiments, role-playing, and movement-based learning activities. Understanding your primary learning style is just the beginning of more effective studying. Once you recognize your natural inclinations, you can strategically select techniques aligned with your strengths while developing complementary approaches. However, don't limit yourself to just one modality. Most people benefit significantly from multimodal learning, where combining different sensory inputs creates deeper understanding and better retention of information. Cultivating a growth mindset. A growth mindset fundamentally changes how we approach learning. The pyramid structure here illustrates the key components. At the foundation, we have the belief that abilities can be developed, not fixed. Building on this, we value effort over natural talent, recognizing that hard work drives improvement. Next comes resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks stronger than before. And at the top is continuous improvement, prioritizing progress over perfection. This mindset completely transforms how we experience challenges. Instead of seeing them as threatening obstacles, we recognize them as valuable opportunities for development. When we view difficulties as chances to stretch our abilities, we approach them with curiosity rather than fear. Failures become stepping stones, not endpoints. Each setback provides valuable data for improvement and builds our resilience. By focusing on the process rather than fixating on outcomes, we create sustainable patterns for lifelong learning and achievement. Active learning strategies. Active learning dramatically transforms the educational experience. When learners engage actively with material, asking questions, summarizing concepts in their own words, connecting ideas to personal experiences, they move beyond passive reading to genuine understanding. Deliberate practice involves focusing on specific skills with targeted exercises that provide immediate feedback and push slightly beyond current comfort zones. This is where real growth happens. Teaching others is perhaps the most powerful active learning strategy. When you explain concepts to classmates, friends, or even imaginary students, you quickly identify gaps in your understanding and solidify your knowledge. Creating knowledge networks means actively connecting new information to existing knowledge, building strong neural pathways that improve both recall and application. The fundamental shift here is from being passive recipients to engaged participants in your educational journey. By taking ownership of the learning process, you achieve deeper comprehension and longer retention than would ever be possible through traditional passive methods. Developing critical thinking skills. Critical thinking represents a higher order of learning that goes far beyond simply absorbing information. It's about developing the mental frameworks necessary to evaluate, analyze, and synthesize ideas from multiple perspectives. This meta skill empowers learners to navigate complex topics with remarkable clarity and depth. The circular diagram illustrates the critical thinking process. We begin by questioning, developing probing inquiries that challenge assumptions. Then we research, gathering diverse perspectives rather than confirming existing beliefs. Next comes evaluation, assessing the quality and reliability of evidence. Analysis follows, where we identify patterns and meaningful connections. Finally, we synthesize, forming independent, well-reasoned conclusions. By approaching subjects with healthy skepticism and intellectual curiosity, We become less vulnerable to misinformation and better equipped to reach sound conclusions. What makes critical thinking especially valuable is its transferability across disciplines and its enduring value throughout life. Emotional intelligence in learning. The emotional dimension of learning often determines success more profoundly than cognitive ability alone. Let's examine the 4 components of emotional intelligence in the learning context. Self-awareness means recognizing your emotional responses to learning challenges and identifying triggers for frustration, anxiety, or disengagement so you can address them proactively. Self-regulation involves developing strategies to manage stress and maintain focus during difficult learning phases, using techniques like deep breathing, mindfulness, or scheduled breaks. Social awareness means understanding how others approach learning challenges, developing empathy for different learning styles, and creating effective collaborative environments. Relationship management is about building productive learning relationships with peers, mentors, and teachers, communicating needs clearly, and offering support to fellow learners. By developing emotional intelligence, we can navigate the inevitable ups and downs of the learning journey with resilience and self-compassion. Learning environments that acknowledge and support emotional well-being create space for deeper engagement, healthy risk-taking, and authentic growth. Tools and resources for effective learning. The right tools can dramatically enhance your learning efficiency and effectiveness. Let's explore several categories of valuable resources. For time management, the Pomodoro technique with 25-minute focus periods followed by 5-minute breaks creates sustainable attention patterns. Time-blocking calendars and priority matrices help with critical decision-making about where to direct your energy. For goal setting, SMART objectives provide structure, ensuring your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Progress tracking journals and milestone celebration systems maintain motivation throughout the journey. Digital platforms offer powerful advantages. Spaced repetition systems like Anki and Quizlet optimize memory formation, knowledge management tools like Notion and Obsidian organize information, and online courses provide structured learning paths. Don't overlook analog methods. The Cornell note-taking system, mind mapping techniques, and physical flashcards still offer distinct benefits. By integrating both digital and analog resources into a personalized system, learners can overcome common obstacles and maintain steady progress toward their goals. The lifelong learning journey. Learning isn't a destination, but a continuous journey that evolves throughout our lives. The timeline depicts 4 essential phases. We begin with curiosity, asking questions and cultivating openness to new ideas and perspectives as the foundation for all learning. Next comes exploration, investigating diverse subjects beyond your comfort zone, and sampling widely from different disciplines to discover connections and passions. The third phase is mastery, developing deep expertise in chosen areas through deliberate practice, building comprehensive understanding while maintaining humility about limitations. Finally, we reach contribution, sharing knowledge with others and applying learning to meaningful problems, creating value through application of what you've learned. Each phase builds upon previous experiences, creating a rich tapestry of knowledge, skills, and wisdom that deepens with time. By celebrating progress rather than just endpoints, we maintain motivation and joy in the process itself. The true gift of becoming an effective learner is the freedom to continually reinvent ourselves and contribute meaningfully to our changing world.